Hey Sarah, thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I really want to hop right into your interview because I'm super excited about my first question. So, I am obsessed with true crime, and you have recently been in Buried in the Backyard. So, I'd love to hear about what that experience was like because I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it was honestly great. It sounds weird to say it was great when it was a true crime show, but honestly, I mean, I learned a lot and it was really cool because I didn't even think I was going to learn so much as I did. Just about how things can happen and how with mine it was a boyfriend and I had tricked him into pretending like I was pregnant so that I could stay with him because he broke up with me. And he was like, you know what? This is not going to happen. So I'm just going to kill her and get rid of the problem. So it was very, and of course, it's a real story. So that was, I think, the coolest part of it was I was actually playing somebody real. Um, and I looked just like her, which was crazy. They let me see the picture that they had compared me to when they auditioned me, and I was like mind blown. It was crazy.
Where was the filming?
In different areas, like we did like a high school, we did a in somebody else's backyard. We did so different areas just in LA, but surrounding downtown LA, and in a little bit of like Los Feliz area.
Oh,
That's
cool, cool.
the
So, it
majority of
wasn't like on one set, you got to actually travel around.
Yeah, we went everywhere. Yeah,
Oh my God, that's awesome. That is so cool.
it was really cool.
Yeah, so going off of that, I talked about in your intro how many things you've been involved with. What has been your favorite project to date and why?
It's hard to choose because they've all been so different, but I think if I had to choose, it would be My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I co-starred in that the beginning of this year. I believe it was the end of January, and it was so fun. It was completely different from the true crime. So, but yeah, it was like a little like little comedy moment. It was really fun, and we did so many takes because we did so many different types of just physicalness and physical comedy, and so I think that's why it was so fun because the crew was really fun and just being this crazy fan, just things like that. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, I do just speaking from personal experience, I feel like the crew is what makes it or breaks it. Like,
It,
really, who you're surrounded by is what makes it a fun experience or not.
yeah, I completely agree. It's like work, like any work, like your coworkers are just what grounds it. It's just,
Yeah, yeah. And I know
yeah.
that you've been trying to get, more into improv lately and things like that. So I'm sure being in a comedy was right up your alley and something that you found to be really fun.
Yeah, so it was just great to just use that, that those comedy and improv skills because I did do a little bit of improv with it as well. Just again, like more like of the physical comedy, but a little bit of
Right.
ad libs here and there. So they let me do that, and yeah, they really liked it. So it was just
Right.
so fun to keep doing it.
So, you've been in things recently, but since COVID has been around, I'm sure that the auditioning process has been much different. Why don't you just tell everybody what auditioning is like now in COVID?
Yeah, it's I feel like it could be a little different for everybody based on where they're at in their journey. And right now for me, it's very hard because I am switching through agencies and I'm also like I put together like a reel that I didn't have. Well, I had a different one and now I'm, I guess, updating it. And so yeah, it's been a little hard. There's been a little bit of Zoom auditions, but
Right.
at least maybe three in like 8 months. So it's been really tough.
Yeah, things are slowing down. And just even
Definitely.
once you get an audition, it's like, okay, Zoom call after Zoom call. And it's hard to really make an impression over, video versus in
Yeah,
person.
I love being in person, so it's really hard for me, but at least they could see me, instead of it being just a phone call, and obviously that would never happen, but it's just yeah, it's just nice that at least I could show my personality still.
What advice do you have for people who want to get into acting right now?
Definitely, there are a lot of what first comes to mind is that there are a lot of classes that are online right now because the world is just being it's like a new normal right now. So definitely jump into classes. There's so many to choose from, and they've lowered their rates because of the COVID sale, is what they call it. So definitely that. Even my improv, where I go to improv, the Groundlings, they're even doing that too. So stuff like that. It's not the same, but at least it's something to get you started so that when things do come back, you'll be ready.
Yeah, it's like you can build up your resume during this time. It's probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah. So I like to end on a fun question. You and I go back and forth on Instagram about coffee.
yeah.
You go to cafes everywhere all over LA, and you always seem to be getting like these unique drinks. So, what is your favorite drink that you've tried recently?
It was a latte with almond milk, vanilla extract, and agave, and like a tiny sprinkle of cinnamon on the top. Oh my god, it was to die for, and I've only had it iced so far, but I can only imagine because now, hence the sweater, it's like finally getting a little cooler. Definitely gonna try the hot one. But what I really like about them is the money goes to donating for animal rescue. So that's
Oh, that's
really,
awesome.
you know,
I love that. Yeah. And it's basically just like an iced, healthier version of a vanilla latte with a little bit of cinnamon.
yeah,
So
yeah,
anybody would like it. It's a great
yeah,
drink. Yeah. I
yeah.
haven't even
You
tried
use
it
your
and I'm vouching for it.
yeah, no, it's so good. It's so, so good.
I hear that you have some positive news to share.
Yeah, I am moving to Hollywood next
Oh
year.
my gosh, that's where I live.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'm looking at a few places, but I know exactly where I wanna be. So I'm looking at the West Hollywood/Hollywood area coming from the Valley.
Yes.
Really excited. I know everything's just been crazy, so I'm like, "You know what? It's a great time to start fresh." So I'm
Girl, I
excited.
understand. Listen, I moved from the Midwest to the West Coast in the middle of a pandemic. We road tripped here in an RV. So I totally get it. And I feel like, that's a good thing just to talk about too really quickly is like anybody who wants to get into acting and is thinking about moving or wants to move to LA, really a lot of apartments around here. I know, like, especially where I'm living in Hollywood, West Hollywood area, have lowered their rents because renters have moved out due to COVID. And it's a great time to like get to know the city because there's not so many people here, like overwhelming the
Mhm.
experience for you. So if you're thinking about it, I would say do it. And where are you living right now? What
Sherman Oaks.
area? Okay, Sherman Oaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely a totally different vibe.
Yes, it's way more suburban here. It's beautiful, gorgeous, families everywhere. But before this, I did live in Hollywood, and I miss it.
Where are you mostly going for auditions when it's not COVID season? Is it mostly like Burbank area, Hollywood area?
It's West Hollywood, a little bit of Hollywood, but so far, yeah. I mean, I've noticed a trend, and it's been West Hollywood for sure. Just the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect time for you then to make that move, and hopefully when COVID slows down a little bit, because I know that big production companies are opening back up. Like Warner Brothers is reopening. I know a
Yeah.
lot of shows have gone back into production. So I feel like maybe the auditioning process is going to start to pick back up soon. So you're probably going to be right in the right place.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. And then, getting everything together, yeah, career-wise and health-wise and
Yes. Yeah, you got
physical.
to stay safe. You got to stay safe while you're
Yeah.
doing it, for sure, for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I loved talking to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your coffee pics on Instagram, per usual.
Usual. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.
No problem. I'm glad you came.